Commander Rian Hale stood on the bridge of the human flagship Astra 9, watching the red line glowing on the giant screen. It looked like a thin mark across the stars, but every human in the galaxy knew what it meant. It was the Dominion line, the border no one crossed. Not traitors, not spies, not even the bravest soldiers. The Dominion had made this rule thousands of years ago, and every species obeyed it. Every species except humans, today. A weak distress signal blinked on Rian's screen. It came from a small human research ship drifting near the border. Its engines were dead. Its life support was shutting down. The message was broken, but the voice was clear enough: "Please, help us." Rian felt a cold knot inside his chest. The ship was moving closer and closer to the Dominion line. If it crossed accidentally, it would be destroyed. And even if it stayed just outside the border, the Dominion might attack it anyway for threatening their space. His officers waited for his command. "Sir, if we go after them, we will cross the line too," Lieutenant Saru said softly. Her hands were shaking. Rian looked at the crew. They were young, smart, brave. They understood the risk. He understood it too. Crossing that line could start a war that humanity was not ready for. But leaving humans to die was not something he could do. He had seen too many people lost in the silent dark of space. He breathed slowly and said, "We do not abandon our own." The bridge fell silent. Not even the machines made a sound. Then Rian gave the order. "Helm, move forward. Cross the Dominion line." The engines hummed. The ship moved toward the red border. The small research vessel flickered on the screen, growing dimmer by the minute. Rian watched it like a man watching a candle blow out. As soon as Astra 9 touched the line, something happened. The lights flickered. The ship trembled. Unknown signals scanned the hull, feeling every metal plate like invisible hands. It was the Dominion warning them, "We see you." Rian kept his voice steady. "Hold course." The ship pushed through the glowing barrier. The moment they crossed, alarms blared. Red lights flashed all over the bridge. Sensors screamed. Thousands of dots appeared on the radar, Dominion probes, activating like nests of angry insects. Lieutenant Saru whispered, "Sir, they are watching us." "They have always watched," Rian replied. "Today we watch back." Outside, the stars shifted. Clouds of dark blue gas twisted around the ship as if reacting to their presence. The Dominion territory felt different, heavier, colder, almost alive. Some said the Dominion used living machines. Others said they used machines that behaved like living things. No one outside the Dominion knew the truth. The crew stood at their stations, quiet but ready. They trusted Rian. He never failed them. A deep sound echoed through the calm speakers, a sound like something old waking up after a long sleep. It sent chills through every human on the bridge. Then a voice spoke. A voice that sounded like it came from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Human vessel, you have entered forbidden space. Leave now, or be erased." Rian stepped closer to the center console. "This is Commander Rian Hale of the United Human Fleet. We are here to rescue our people. Your threats will not stop us." The voice did not answer. But the ship sensors picked up something huge approaching through the clouds. Something big enough to block out stars. Something built for war. Rian felt his heartbeat slow down, not from fear, but from focus. He turned to his crew. "Prepare for contact. No one fires unless I give the order." "Aye, sir," the officers replied. The Astra 9 continued moving deeper into Dominion space. The dark clouds around them pulsed like a heartbeat. The research ship was only a few minutes away. Its signal was fading faster now. Rian imagined the scientists inside, cold and scared, waiting for help that might not come. "Not today," he thought. "Not on my watch." He pressed the comms button. To all fleet ships, stay close. Stay sharp. Whatever happens next, do not break formation. Outside the view window, the dark fog split open. And from inside that fog, the first Dominion warship appeared, massive, sharp, and silent. But Rian did not step back. Because today, humanity stood firm. The Dominion warship moved out of the blue fog like a giant metal predator. Its black armor absorbed all light, making it look like a shadow with shape. Lines of red energy glowed under its plates, pulsing like veins. It was silent, far too silent for something so large. Commander Rian Hale felt the tension on the bridge rise like a wave. Lieutenant Sarah swallowed hard. "Sir, that ship is 3 times our size." "And 3 times slower," Rian answered calmly. "Size does not win battles. Choices do." The Dominion ship stopped directly in front of Astra 9, blocking their path. The bridge lights dimmed for a second as a heavy energy field scanned them again. Every screen flickered with symbols no human had ever seen. Then the enemy ship opened a comm link. A tall figure appeared on the holoscreen, thin, armored, with glowing red eyes that looked like burning coals. His voice was colder than metal. "I am Varos, commander of the Dominion's outer wall. State your reason for crossing our line." Rian stepped forward, standing straight. "We are here to rescue a human research ship in distress. We will retrieve them and leave." Varos tilted his head slightly. "Your people entered our territory. That alone is an act of war." "It is an act of duty," Rian replied. The Dominion commander narrowed his eyes. "Duty ends at the Dominion line. Every species knows this. Humans do not abandon their own," Rian said, his voice firm. "Not today. Not ever." For a moment, everything was silent. Then Varos spoke again, this time with a harsher tone. "You will turn back. Or you will be erased from existence." Lieutenant Saru clenched her fists. Some officers stepped away from their screens as if expecting the enemy ship to fire immediately. But Rian did not move. His voice stayed steady, controlled, powerful. "We will not turn back." Varos stared at him for a long moment. Then he smiled, slow, sharp, dangerous. "Very well, let us test your words." The holoscreen cut off. Instantly, dozens of smaller Dominion fighters burst from the giant warship like sparks of red light. They formed a tight formation and rushed toward the human fleet. "Battle stations," Rian ordered. The bridge came alive. Officers typed commands quickly. Lights shifted from blue to red. Shields powered up with a deep hum. The Astra 9 vibrated as the cannons armed themselves. The Dominion fighters moved like sharp arrows. Fast, smooth, perfectly synchronized. They were designed for one thing only, killing. "Hold fire," Rian said. "Let them make the first move." Everyone watched the screen in silent fear. Then the first shot came, a red blast that streaked past Astra 9 and smashed into a nearby asteroid, leaving nothing behind but dust. It was a warning shot. "They are playing with us," Lieutenant Saru whispered. "No," Rian said quietly. "They are testing us." The next wave of Dominion shots came faster, deadly, accurate, aimed to break their shields. Human ships dodged as best as they could, engines burning bright as pilots fought to keep control. But Rian noticed something. "They are pushing us back," he said. "They want us to retreat before we reach the research ship." Another blast shook the hull. Warning lights flashed. Lieutenant Darren shouted, "Shields down to 80%. Rian raised his voice. "Hold formation. No one leaves their position." The human fleet tightened. Even under fire, they moved as one, shift, dodge, protect each other. Humans did not have the fastest ships, or the strongest weapons, but they had something else, teamwork. Rian watched the enemy patterns carefully. Dominion fighters moved like machines, predictable, perfect, too perfect. He smiled slightly. They rely on automation. That means they lack creativity. He turned to the pilot. Take us below the fighter line. Drop engines to 60%. Make them think we are slowing down. The pilot hesitated. Sir, lowering engines makes us an easier target. Only if you do not trust me, Rian said, his eyes calm. The pilot nodded. Yes, sir. Astra 9 dipped under the Dominion squadron. The enemy ships adjusted, turning sharply to follow. They expected the humans to panic. But Rian waited. Now, he shouted. Full thrust, upward arc. The pilot slammed the controls. Astra 9 shot upward in a sudden sharp curve. The Dominion fighters, moving too fast and too rigid, overshot the turn and broke formation. Fire! Rian commanded. Human cannons lit the sky with blue beams. Several Dominion fighters exploded in bright flashes. The rest scattered, confused for the first time. Lieutenant Saru's eyes widened. Sir, it worked. It always works, Rian said softly. Humans think differently. But before anyone could celebrate, the ship's sensors beeped loudly. A new object appeared on the radar. Bigger than the first Dominion ship. Darker. Stronger. And it was coming straight toward them. Rian tightened his jaw. The real battle is just beginning. The radar screen glowed brighter as the new Dominion ship approached. It was not like the smaller fighters or even the large warship they had already seen. This one moved slowly, calmly, as if it had no fear of anything in its path. Lieutenant Saru stared at the size reading. Her voice trembled. Sir, this ship is massive. Bigger than Astra 9. Bigger than any ship recorded. Commander Rian Hale did not blink. Put it on the main screen. The view window shifted. And the crew gasped. The Dominion supership emerged from the blue fog like a black mountain floating in space. Its hull was long and curved, shaped almost like a dark blade. Red energy pulsed along its body like flowing blood. Strange symbols glowed across its surface, symbols the humans did not understand. The ship gave off a feeling. Heavy. Ancient. Angry. Lieutenant Darren whispered, "It feels alive." "Maybe it is," Rian replied. Everyone felt pressure in their chest, as if the supership was pushing down on them without touching them. Even the Astra 9's metal frame creaked in protest. The Dominion's smaller ships quickly retreated behind the giant vessel. They formed a tight shield around it, like children hiding behind a giant parent. The message was clear. This is the Dominion's real weapon. A voice echoed from the comms again. It was Varos. But this time, he sounded different. Colder. Confident. Human commander, step away from our territory. Your bravery is meaningless now. Our Judicator-class warship has arrived. It exists for one purpose, destruction. Some of the crew flinched at the word. Rian stepped closer to the screen. If your ship exists to destroy, then we exist to protect. Varos laughed softly. Protect? You cannot even protect yourselves. The giant Dominion warship powered up. Red light gathered along its spine. Energy built like a growing storm. Rian felt the timing. He understood ships like he understood people. He saw weakness where others saw strength. He turned to his crew. Listen carefully. They expect us to run. Lieutenant Saru frowned. Sir, what if they fire? That ship could break us in one shot. Rian shook his head. No. They want to scare us first. Dominion always tests before they attack. And testing gives us one thing. What thing? Darren asked. A chance. The crew looked at him with a mix of fear and trust. They had followed him through so much already. They were ready to follow him again. Rian pointed at the radar. The supership has one weakness: size. It is powerful but slow. It depends on smaller ships to protect its blind spots. So we aim for the blind spots? Saru asked. No, Rian said. We break through them. The crew stared at him in disbelief. Astra 9 was strong, but to break through a Dominion formation felt impossible. Rian spoke again, voice steady. We will not fight like them. We will fight like humans. He raised his hand. Helm, prepare the silent burn. Everyone froze. The silent burn was an old human invention, risky and unstable. It allowed a ship to move without leaving an energy trail, but it could also tear a ship apart if used too long. Lieutenant Saru's voice cracked. Sir, if we use that, we might lose engine control. Rian nodded. Yes. But if we do not use it, we lose everything. The bridge fell silent. Then one by one, every officer nodded. Activating silent burn, the pilot said. The engines dimmed to a faint glow, almost invisible. All enemy sensors lost Astra 9's location for a moment. Now, Rian ordered. The ship lurched forward, diving toward the giant Dominion formation. Smaller enemy fighters scrambled to track them. Alarms beeped on their side, but the silent burn kept Astra 9's signature hidden. Within seconds, they reached the Dominion supership's underbelly. The sight was terrifying. The underside of the Judicator-class warship was covered in sharp metal ridges and glowing red vents. Massive energy chambers hummed with deadly power. If any of those chambers hit Astra 9, the entire ship would evaporate. Hold steady, Rian said. The pilot's hands shook but stayed on the controls. The Astra 9 skimmed the enemy hull, shield sparking as metal scraped metal. The sound echoed through the ship like thunder. For a moment, everyone thought they would be crushed. But they made it past. Dominion ships scrambled behind them, chasing, but failing to keep up. Lieutenant Darren laughed weakly. We passed the biggest warship in the galaxy. Not passed, Rian corrected. We outsmarted it. The crew looked at him with new fire in their eyes. But then the radar beeped. The research vessel appeared on the screen, closer now, but surrounded by Dominion drones. Rian's expression hardened. Their trap is not over, he said. They want to destroy the humans on that ship before we reach them. Saru clenched her fists. Sir, what do we do? Rian answered without hesitation. We save them. No matter what. Astra 9 turned sharply toward the trapped research ship. The Dominion supership stirred behind them, its massive red energy charging again. The final test had begun. Astra 9 flew toward the stranded research vessel, its engines burning bright blue as the Dominion warships regrouped behind them. The research ship, Helios 4, was barely holding together. Its metal hull looked torn, its left wing had broken off, and its signal flickered like a dying heartbeat. Lieutenant Saru read the scans. Sir, their oxygen is down to 20%. If we do not reach them soon, they will not survive. Commander Rian Hale nodded. We reach them. No matter the cost. Behind them, the giant Dominion supership turned slowly, too slow to catch Astra 9 but fast enough to threaten the rescue. Red energy gathered along its spine once again. This time, the glow was brighter, angrier. Their main cannon is charging, Darren warned. If they fire when we dock with Helios 4, we will take the full hit. Not if we block it, Rian said. The crew turned toward him in confusion. Saru frowned. Block, a Dominion main cannon. Rian stood tall. Humans are known for many things. Fear is not one of them. But the truth was simple, blocking a Dominion superweapon was impossible. Yet humans had done the impossible before. The human reinforcements were still far away, minutes out. The Dominion knew it and wanted to finish the battle before the human fleet arrived. Astra 9 reached Helios 4. Docking arm extended, the pilot reported. Metal clamped onto metal. The connection vibrated through the ship like a deep heartbeat. They had less than 5 minutes to evacuate the scientists before the Dominion could fire. Rescue teams, move. Rian commanded. A group of armored human soldiers rushed through the docking tunnel, entering the damaged Helios 4. Smoke filled the air. Sparks jumped from broken wires. The survivors lay weak and cold, barely conscious. "We have them," the rescue leader said through the comm, "but they are fading. We must move fast." Outside the window, the Dominion supership completed its turn. Its main cannon pulsed like a giant red sun. Lieutenant Darren shouted, "Sir! They are preparing to fire. Target locked, on us." Rian's voice remained steady. "Then we hold." He pressed the comms button. "To all human ships nearby, form a shield around Helios 4 immediately." The few smaller human ships in the fleet, fighters and escorts, moved without hesitation. Even damaged fighters joined, forming a tight formation around Astra 9 and the stranded vessel. "Sir, reinforcements still 2 minutes away," Sarah said. "We only need one," Rian whispered. The Dominion cannon glowed brighter, gathering energy so intense it made the screen flicker. It was the kind of weapon that could erase a city in one shot, or wipe out a fleet. Varos appeared on the holoscreen for the final time. "This ends now, human." Rian stared back with calm fire in his eyes. "Then let it end with truth. Humanity does not bow." The cannon fired. A massive wave of red energy tore through the space between them like a burning storm. It slammed into the human formation. Shields flared, cracked, almost shattered. Several small fighters exploded instantly, sacrificing themselves to protect the others. Astra 9 shook violently. Alarms screamed. The metal walls bent under pressure. "Shields at 20%. Darren yelled. "Hold," Rian repeated. The energy wave kept pushing, stronger, heavier, burning everything in its path. Saru gritted her teeth. "Sir, we cannot survive another second." "Hold," Rian said again. And they did. The human formation, broken and burning, refused to fall. Then, at the last possible moment, human reinforcements arrived. Dozens of battle cruisers burst into the battlefield in bright blue warps. Their engines roared like thunder. Without waiting for commands, they formed a second shield wall and activated all defensive systems. Human energy beams crossed each other, forming a giant protective dome. The Dominion blast hit the dome, and finally weakened. When the light faded, the humans were still standing. Varos stared in shock. "Impossible." Rian stepped forward. "You wanted to erase us. You failed." The Dominion supership, now drained from the shot, began to retreat into the blue fog. One by one, smaller Dominion vessels vanished behind it. They had lost the battle. Humanity had not. With the Dominion gone, the human fleet helped tow Helios 4 safely behind the shield formation. The survivors were brought aboard, treated with warmth and relief. Lieutenant Sara turned to Rian, eyes shining. "Sir, we crossed their line, and survived." Rian looked out at the stars. "No," he said softly. "We crossed their line, and redrew it." The Dominion line was no longer a border of fear. It was a reminder. A reminder that humanity stands firm. Always.